Why staying at home actually gives you depression. That is what I want to talk about today. Why staying at home gives you depression. Now you might be wondering why? Like, why does it give me depression? What do you mean? Like, my home is my most comfortable space. But the problem is that ever since 2020, ever since the pandemic, ever since the lockdown, I realized that we spend more time inside our house, inside our rooms locked away, than the outdoors. And that's very, very depressing. Like, if you truly realize it, like take a look at my background. I'm in a 4x4 box in my bedroom. Imagine if I were to spend it almost all day in my bedroom, just with that window, only to look outside. And yet, too, there's a house next door to it, so I can barely see the sunlight. Don't you think that'll make me depressed? And other people depressed too in the same living situation or the same like circumstance. So if you look at it, right, I believe the more you stay at home and trap yourself in your bedroom is linked to you having depression, to you showing greater signs of depression. And the thing is that depression, obviously, it's a bad thing. It doesn't help us, puts us down, and it doesn't, make us achieve our goals. But we staying at home and trapping ourselves in our room, we're causing self-harm. We need to go out and explore. We need to go out, talk to people. We need to experience actual life. Because the thing is, by the time when we're old and we want to tell stories to our grandkids or our kids, we won't have stories to tell other than sitting inside on our keyboard, locked away, playing video games or whatever with our friends. And yeah, they might be good memories, but the thing is, it's very different memories than actually creating the ones outdoors. So we don't even go on walks anymore. Only time we go outside our house is to get food or for our work, to check the mail. Like, we are too comfortable living indoors and being in this online world that is destroying us mentally and physically. And obviously there are some people that have taken advantage of it, but majority of the people have not. Majority of the people are stuck in this endless cycle of just mild depression, locked inside that 4x4 with nothing to do other than be online and scroll on your phone for TikTok. It's crazy. It's truly been crazy, man. Like, I just want you to actually like take a deep breath and really think this. And like, I know COVID's around still, but the world's still moving on. There's no lockdown. And yet you're trapping yourself. Now, I like to think of this as this is like physically you're trapping yourself. Now, what about mentally? Mentally, you're trapping yourself inside the house. You're not gathering new experiences. It's holding in all that negativity, basically. Your house is meant to be for sleeping, basically. That's your base camp. Back then, when, I don't know, the cavemen were around, what was your house made for? What was your, tent or whatever that cave made for? It was just made for sleeping. They spent most of the days outdoors hunting, gathering, fishing, whatever, I don't know. But they did not spend their days indoors trapped away from the sun. Because the thing is that you don't get enough sunlight, you're gonna get depressed. You get mild symptoms of depression if you don't get enough sunlight. That's why it's very essential for you to go outside at least every day for 10 minutes and get some sunlight. And even if there's clouds, whatever, raining, just try and get that, like, go outside and actually breathe the air. Make sure to take your supplements, vitamin D3 or vitamin D, whatever. Because I know in some countries like Canada, whatever, the weather, I mean, you can go out, but during the winter times, obviously, you don't want to be going out when there's like 30 feet of snow, bro. But still, go out at least every day for 10 minutes and get some sunlight in. Go out for a walk. Like, that's what I push myself to do every day. Obviously, I'm not perfect, but you want to go out for a walk. You want to do something outside because you want to get those life experiences. You want to meet that new person. You never know, man, who could be walking down the street that maybe your lifelong partner or your business partner or friend. It's all on you, basically. Either you want to stay at home and cause self-harm to yourself and serving yourself with mild symptoms of depression, or you want to go outside and yeah, it'll be a little bit painful, here and there, but it's going to be way better in the end than staying indoors and being a loser, basically. I feel like now these days too is that people don't do any activities really, in the younger generation at least. I see, like, activities, I mean like actual real activities, not just like hanging out with your friends. I mean going like a rock climbing or hiking, like something to do with nature, because nature is just beautiful, man. I can't explain it. You gotta witness it with your own eyes. And obviously I hope you guys have had before, but if you guys haven't truly witnessed nature, it's one of the most beautiful things on earth. And I know it sounds like dumb for me to say this because obviously almost everyone has, but still, you never know what type of person could be watching this video or watching any other video that has not truly walked outside of their house within like the last 4 years. Go out and experience life. Don't sit around just wasting your time on these games or phones or TikTok or whatever. Go outside and live your life, because you only got one shot to live. You don't got any other shot. See, the thing is, with life is like, obviously in different religions, right, they say different things like reincarnation, heaven and hell, this and that, right? But if we're just looking at it from like a scientific or like fact-based thing, right, like that scientific base, obviously I'm religious, but I like to think in both ways and see which views and everything. I like to think with an open mind and look through every lens and view. What happens if there's no reincarnation? What happens if after we die, it just turns black? Right? Obviously, I don't have faith in that happening. I don't have belief in that happening, but I'm just stating it and questioning it because I like to ask myself questions and revise and reflect. But what if everything goes to black? What happens if you confront God and he shows you your life that you're living now and the life you could have had if you actually went out and lived your life? Because that's the first step. The first step isn't going to the gym. The first step isn't, talking to that girl. The first step isn't trying a new business. The first step is actually getting the hell outside your house. Because now in these days, that's one of the hardest things to do in this day and age, especially amongst young teenagers. But what would you say to that other version of yourself that has done or wanted everything that you wanted in your life because he or she actually put in the work and stepped outside his or her house? They put in the effort while you didn't. They did not waste their time being distracted and being microdosed or dosed, whatever, with depression. So I want you to think about that. What life you want to live. And try and stick to it. Always try and go out in nature by yourself or with friends, whatever. But the key thing is to always be grounded with nature too. Because the thing is, without nature, man, it's like your life ain't that joyful. It's mundane. It's not colorful. And some of you guys may not understand this, but if you truly, even if you're not a nature person, I wasn't a nature person before, and now it's like, obviously, I don't want to go camping, like flipping every weekend, whatever, when there's like raining and there's bugs crawling all over the tent. But that one day, maybe if you just do it, obviously it'll be gross, but you have that experience because you actually stepped outside your house, went into the nature, went into the real world. Live your life the way you want to live it, not how others intend for you to live it. That is my advice. Don't have the fear of missing out. Don't stick yourself and be grounded to just one location, which is your home. Take that step outside and explore all the possibilities that you could, get into or imagine, good or bad. But that's what life is. Life is not all about good. Life is not all about bad. There's a mixture of both. It may not be balanced, but there's definitely a mixture of both, because that's how life is. It's meant to be experienced, the full spectrum of emotions, not just, flipping happy or sad or mad or excited. It's the whole circle, the whole wheel you're meant to experience. Take that step outside your house.